Hello, Mark. Hola, Mark. Digo, buenas. Aquí siempre saludamos con el buenas a veces.
Hello.
Today, we are here with Dad. Like I said, I was going to try to get him here today, and he is here today to be able to communicate with us as well. And you guys can ask him questions too. So we'll wait for everyone to join. Also going to organize this over here so I can message. I can write in the chat if necessary. And yeah, good afternoon, or like I said before, buenas. Now we wait. And in the meantime, I don't know, what can we talk about while we wait? Because we actually have everything really nicely organized. Normally it takes me a long time to set this up. I guess I could show this again, the gift that I got from Lisa, which is really nice, to be honest. I just can't use it to drink yet because my mom told me not to. But I might use it at a later date. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, we will wait for everyone to join. In the meantime, ¿algo que quieras decir? Anything that you would like to say?
In Spanish and English. This is, I try speak English, but I don't know, maybe you guys understand me.
Whatever works for you. I think everyone will understand as long as you express it well.
I am very happy that my boy, he give me this opportunity for this time and talk to you, I don't know, you need questions for me? I don't know, I am ready.
So if you have questions, remember, hard-hitting questions, we're ready. I'm also going to wait for Lisa Thais, channel member, to join. Hello, Daniel. Hola. Daniel, buenas. Because Lisa asked me a specific question in relation to language learning. So as soon as she gets here, if I see her comment, I'll talk about it. If not, I might talk about it later because my dad can only join us here for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. He has to go downstairs and run the business. So for now, he's here. So, buenas tardes, because it is the afternoon. Buenas tardes. Uh-huh. So in the morning.
Buenos días.
In the afternoon.
Buenas tardes.
And at night.
Buenas noches.
Yeah. The expert, so you guys know. Let's see here. Can you guys hear the audio from both of us okay? Are we understood? Because I am using both of the mics that Don gave me. I always use these when I record interviews, and they do seem to work. I just don't know if in the live stream it works. Okay, yes, I can hear good. Thank you, Daniel. Sí, I always forget what time it is. Yes. Sí, Mark. It is always, if it's afternoon, buenas tardes. Of course, if it's morning for you, then maybe you would have to say buenos días, of course. For us, it's the afternoon. Right now, it is 4:12. Hello, Mira, or Mira. Buenas. Good afternoon. How are you doing? So, guys, if you have any questions, I think for my dad, right now is the best time before he has to go. For now, I'll leave the things that I have to say separately for later. So yeah, I work on Hawaii time. Es que Mark Moran trabaja con el tiempo de Hawaii.
Yeah, all right.
Para él es todavía buenos días.
Buenos días.
Good morning. Mark Horning, hello. Hola, Mark. How's it going? Now we have the tocayos. Mark Horning, que estaba aquí esa vez cuando vino a comer. He's here now as well. What does he think about? ¿Qué piensas de la lesión?
Es un accidente. This is the accident, I don't know. This game is a strong game, I talked to many times. He maybe be careful. God say today, it's done. It's only accept this situation, and time go fast, and maybe everything after this is okay. This is, I talk to my guy for here every night. Say, hey, be careful, my boy. I appreciate too much my kid. I love you.
Love you too, Dad. And yeah, this is what you call an accident, so you can't really like. I guess there's not much that we can do about it. I didn't look to get injured; it just happened. So those were his thoughts on the accident. And see, Mark, Dad is here too. Also glad to hear that things are going very well for you. Um, Actually, right now, Mark, you should tell everyone. Well, I don't know if you want to. If you want to tell everyone where you're at right now, but right now you're on a different adventure. Let's just say. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, of course, right now is the best time.
Political, economic situation, religious, sports, whatever you want, the questions, I am ready for answer.
He's a real beast when it comes to economic and political questions. He's really good with that. And sports as well, if anyone's interested in anything soccer related. I saw a picture, una foto, Messi in the United States, because
Yes.
Messi is in the States now.
Yeah, yes, in Miami now.
In Miami. It's crazy. I'm wondering what's going to happen there now, because he's a very good player. So a lot of people might, you know, there's going to be a lot of business for the States when it comes to soccer now. Maybe better than before.
He's now he say in Spanish revolution, the soccer, you know, in USA. Maybe.
Maybe. Mark Moran is asking, what do you think about Muerte Cruzada?
Necessary. Yes. I don't know these people, you guys make the situation in this country, you know. Muerte Cruzada is necessary now because many times the president talked to for different projects. This guy in the Asamblea, this is stop, it's bullshit, you know. So the president said one day, I am tired of this situation, everybody go home, you know. I try do now for my responsibility, said the president, but now it's other institution, the Corte Constitucional, approved or not approved these new rules en these mandatos, no sé, mandatos, que
Mandates.
he try install it in this country, you know. It's necessary.
So
We don't need now this assembly more. This is my thing, you know.
These congressmen, the assemblymen.
Assembly.
The assemblymen, we don't need them right now.
More.
Or anymore, apparently. In theory, like if we think about it the way that everyone sees it, like, and even like you see
listen
my dad,
in this assembly, you know, there's 100% the approbation on the all people. It say 2-3%. Not necessary. Not necessary. Maybe 40, 35. It's okay. 3%, 4% in last government Lenín Moreno 4%. Now Guillermo Lasso 3%. No, it's shit.
para los asambleístas.
Los asambleístas, la aprobación del pueblo.
Basically, about 2 or 3% of them, and in Lenin's reign as a president, they approved of having these assemblymen. So now it's even less than it was with Lenin, and with Lenin it was already pretty low.
Yeah.
People don't want them, and like I've said before, and like I've talked about the situation with the assemblymen, they get paid a lot, and they don't really do enough, I guess you could say, for what they're being paid for. There are people who even make jokes about it online, how like you don't even really need a lot of education to get the job, but for any other job, they'll ask you for all of this, like you have to have experience, you have to have this education, you have to have a lot of things in order to get a job in like a normal job, like getting a job in like, let's just say a supermarket. But with the assemblymen, like as long as you have a high school degree, you can become an assemblyman. At least that's what I understood. I don't know if it's the same now, but that's why people are frustrated that they make so much money with so little requirements while doing almost nothing, which is booty.
These people is not prepared for the stay in this situation, no, they represent el pueblo. ¿Cómo se dice el pueblo?
Represent the people.
Represent the people, you know. These people is not prepared. No, this is this situation we we live in this year, you know. Yeah, it's 8 years now, yeah. We passed for this situation. And
8
the
years.
assembly no have approbation for the people, you know. All that I ask you in my business, in my restaurant, say, anybody say, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, you know. But no representative nothing for what. I don't know, we pay for taxes for these people, you know. He have one assembly, ¿cómo se dice? Un asistente, one assistant and driver. Son 19
An
grand.
assistant for the assistant for the driver and like...
This guy making 19 grand for a month, for each. And 132, listen to how much is this, you know.
It's a lot of money.
But it's a lot of money for nothing. We pay for nothing, you know.
That's the reality. Let me see. Mark Horning dice, if it's not working, I like the idea that you can say enough. O sea, le gusta la idea que puedes decir ya, basta. Lo cual fue lo que hizo. Yeah, that's what Lasso did. He was just like,
I am tired of this situation, you guys go home, that's it, you know.
Daniel dice, hopefully a new assembly and president will be better. Only time will tell.
Depende.
Solo el tiempo. In your opinion, from the last 10 years, how hopeful are you for things to improve? En tu opinión, desde los últimos, por lo que has visto los últimos 10 años, o sea, ¿qué tanta esperanza tienes de que las cosas mejoren?
¿En qué en el país?
O sea, sí, o sea, ¿qué tantas esperanzas tienes tú que las cosas mejoren en el país en base a lo que has visto suceder estos últimos 10 años?
Que no hayan políticos. Que políticos, no necesitamos ya políticos, necesitamos una dictadura aquí para que dirija el país. You know?
Basically, he's like, we need a dictatorship, like no more politicians.
Yes.
Entonces no tienes esperanza de que sí.
No.
So no hope, basically.
No.
He has no hope that things will be better with a new president or with a new assembly, new Congress. So that's his opinion.
No veo un representante, no veo uno que pueda cambiar el curso del país. No veo.
He doesn't see anyone, any representative, any person who's representing a political party. He doesn't see them with the ability to change the course of the country. The way things are going, it is basically no one who's currently running for president has the power to change this course. So,
porque todas las instituciones están corruptas.
Because all the institutions are corrupt. So,
todas las instituciones están corruptas. Entonces, la situación no va a cambiar porque la parte política depende mucho de la corrupción. O sea, paso dinero acá, paso del lugar que uno va, dinero. Lugar que uno va, dinero. Institución pública que uno va, dinero. Hospitales, dinero para medicina, porque no hay medicina adentro, porque se la llevan los políticos o los representantes de los hospitales que hacen sus amarres para las compras de los insumos dentro de los hospitales. Entonces, no va a cambiar. Es un proceso que ya viene de años, ya tenemos una década con eso.
It's not going to change because the process is just so deeply embedded in the system that everything just requires, like the political process for it to work right now, for politics to work, basically it requires corruption. So unless you get rid of the whole political system, like he said, going into a dictatorship, it's not going to change. Things are going to stay the same.
Para que todo cambie, el gobierno necesita cambiar casi 500,000 de empleados públicos para que pueda cambiar el sistema nuevamente. Y eso es mucho trabajo, mucho dinero que le va a costar al Estado.
In order to change things, you'd have to remove like 500,000 employees who are working in the system, public employees, because they're all corrupt. And it would cost the government too much money to get rid of that many people and change out that many jobs. And too much work. They wouldn't do it. Aquí una cosa que dijo Mark Horning, bueno, Mark Moran dice, vote ACE for Assemblyman, que voten a mí por asambleísta. Pero dice de broma, claro. Los Estados Unidos es similar, dice, en lo que es personas que sin educación en la asamblea. Que
pero
allá hay Colorado y también...
Pero allá hay una cosa, que es la cámara alta y la cámara baja. O sea, no depende de una sola. Aquí hay solo una. Allá hay la cámara baja, que es ¿cómo se llaman esto? asambleístas, digamos así, y los senadores, ¿ya?
Ah.
Entonces, esa es la diferencia que hay acá.
There's a difference over there. Over here, there's only one like political power, and over there, there's two. At least the way
Cámara baja y cámara alta. O sea,
I'm not sure what it would be in English because I don't know what the exact term for it is. I'd have to look it up. Pero dice que el man que fue votado o sea, que votaron en Colorado, que es donde viene Mark,
Ya.
No tiene ni diploma de colegio.
claro, entonces
allá él también tienen ese problema.
sí.
Y no, aquí hay otra pregunta de Cynthia que también me parece interesante.
Sí.
Mark Horning dice que es un two-party system, el sistema de dos parties.
Claro.
Cynthia dice que ¿cuál es el problema más grande que impacta tu negocio o que te preocupa a ti? O sea, ¿cuál es el problema más grande que impacta el negocio?
O sea, hoy we have a five situation now in this country. Oye, ¿no? Economic, politic, social, healthy y ambiental. ¿Cómo se dice ambiental?
Environmental.
Yeah, environment.
So health and environment.
Eso ha hecho un combo de
A
situaciones
combination of situations.
para que hoy en día la economía de nuestro país esté deprimida. Está ya deprimida, ya pasó de la inflación a la deflación y estamos entrando en una etapa de una economía deprimida que hace que la gente no quiera salir, no quiera gastar y primero porque el dinero está escaso y el temor a salir a disfrutar de una noche o de salir con la familia. Hoy se trabaja más por el delivery que por asistencia a los locales.
So basically, there's 5 different factors that are coming into play, the 5 that he mentioned, and all of this is causing, it's gone from inflation to deflation, and después
De inflación, deflación
inflation to deflation,
y ahora deprimida, una economía deprimida.
and I guess you could say a depressed economy, and people, they don't want to go out. I've talked about this before, because people are scared. One, they don't have money to go out. And 2, they're afraid to go out because of the danger that lurks on the streets. So that's why he's saying that a lot of people nowadays, they go through delivery services. They all of the things that they order are through delivery. Getting your food, mainly food, of course. In terms of my dad's business, I'm guessing if people had a very reliable Amazon, similar to Amazon system here, they would do it. Yo en mi mente creo que con la situación, si la gente pudiera mandar a pedir las cosas de estilo Amazon, lo harían.
No, correcto. La otra noche, I told you this, I know, I laugh, Say, one cliente, customer, no?
One customer.
One customer called me and say, hey, Gonzalo, I ordered for you restaurant 3 burgers and 3 churros mixtos, all right? And talk to the lady, cross for the pharmacy, buy for me one desodorante.
One deodorant.
Deodorant, yeah. Explícalo bien.
Pero te dijeron a ti.
A mí que le diga a la chica, sí.
So basically, one person had told my dad, and he had called him to ask him for a food order. And in the middle of that food order, while ending it, he said, tell the delivery person to also send
Cross for
deodorant.
pharmacy?
Since the pharmacy was closed, they're like, hey, tell her to go buy a deodorant and send it over as well. So, we're getting to that level where people want to start asking for those kinds of things.
No quieren salir por una cosa mínima, ¿me entiendes? Entonces,
people don't want to go out for like a small thing. A ver, actually in some cases. Bueno, continuando con... I hope that answers your question, Cynthia. Espero que responda a esta pregunta. Daniel dice, en algunos casos una dictadura es una buena solución, pero solo por un tiempo
limitado.
A limited time.
We passed before, in this country, one dictadura, the year
dictatorship.
The year 1972 and 1980, okay? I live this dictatorship. No, I live. I have the 8 years, I remember everything. We passed this situation in mi pueblo, donde yo nací.
In my town,
my born,
village.
We have an electrician the 6 the morning, 6 the afternoon, night, After this, shut down, everybody go home for the years, all this situation change inside my town, for change everything. Only militaries ruling the company, my dad and other friends working. Entonces they say, okay, we don't need directors here. All American people working in this company, get out of this town, and the people inside of this town, he say, why this guy leave? We have a good life in this moment. After this, our life, my family, the friends, change complete. When we have a dictator, change complete.
El
It's
dictator
very
is
different. Yeah.
Dictador es dictator y la dictadura es dictatorship.
Yeah, dictator.
Entonces, dictator and
Bueno, si lo quieres explicar.
No, sí, no, está bien. I think the explanation is good. It's just crazy how things can change.
I live one, yeah.
And how he actually lived through it. There's a question, creo que es una pregunta. Hello, Brandon, by the way. Buenas. Hey, do you know if there is tax putting money in cooperatives, such as inversiones JEP? I've seen that there's no tax in savings account, but not sure about other accounts within cooperative. La cooperativa JEP, o lo que es inversiones JEP, que creo que le dicen, él dice que está preguntando si hay un impuesto cuando pones dinero en eso. O sea, él sabe que no hay impuesto cuando le pones en lo que es una cuenta de ahorro, pero no está seguro de otras cuentas dentro de una cooperativa.
Todo negocio tiene una trampa.
All businesses have some kind of trap.
When we open one account, saving account, it's for they say, oh, you guys tomorrow we loan credit,
Credit.
So this is the people give it too many facilidades, yeah. Entonces, es para the people say, okay, open your eyes, say the interest is 6%, 7%, 3%, but when you go inside, this is the real situation, Cuando quieres un crédito. Ese es para eso, para la gente.
So when you want a credit, there's a lot more than what you initially see when they offer you X or Y deal, where they tell you, oh, it's just this amount or that. There's a little bit more in the woodworks. Aquí él quiso aclarar y dijo, para recibir dinero por medio de intereses, debió...
eso se llama por pólizas de acumulación. O sea,
pero si hay impuestos en eso también.
Claro, te reducen un porcentaje. Los bancos siempre se te quedan con un porcentaje porque tienen que declarar el movimiento bancario. Yeah.
So they're always going to take away a percent because they have to declare the value that was being received. At least that's what he explained right now. Also, aquí Naso, the nation, love and support from Trinidad and Tobago. Sir, love Ecuador very much. Thank you very much. Ecuador is great. If you plan on visiting, come soon. Brandon dice gracias. Gracias, hermanos. Ahí BP, buenas tardes. Hello. How's it going, BP? ¿Cómo está usted?
Hello, guys. I'm very happy to talk to you. This country is very beautiful. Only the politicos is no complete this situation in this country. For different situations we pass in. I live in now, come back in my country after 13 years. Ago, I come back at this country. But I think my country changed for mejoras. ¿Cómo se dice por mejoras?
Improve.
Improve, pero we go como el cangrejo. En vez de ir para adelante, vamos para atrás cada vez.
Instead of going forward, we go backwards. So we want it to improve, but, o sea, queremos mejorar,
pero los políticos han hecho que el país no progrese.
The politicians are making it so that the country doesn't advance. It's part of kind of what a friend of mine, when I did the healthcare episode, the podcast episode, if you listen to it, one of my friends, when I asked him the question, he said the problem is the politicians. One of the problems that, due to them, the system doesn't get better. It just kind of gets worse. Ahí Mark Horning dice, great to see you.
Bien, right, same to me,
Michelle dice, how wonderful you have your dad on a live stream. A great sign of love and respect. all the time. Ahí VP. Y Mark Horning dice, como todos lugares, 2 pasos adelante y 1 atrás. 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Pero aquí vamos al revés, 2 para atrás y 1 para adelante. Es al revés. Dile.
Oh God, but here it's reverse. We take 2 steps back and 1 step forward. That's what my dad's saying. Which sometimes it feels that way. It's just weird when you want to you want things to be good and it just randomly goes really bad. And you don't even know when it happened. Him, because he keeps more tabs on all the things that you buy, food and produce and stuff. But for me, I just sometimes don't realize it until he tells me about it. And then I realize, I
passed one situation today, funny situation.
All right.
Say, I go the mini market, Supermaxi, okay? He say, oh, we need onion for the house, and for my place, my restaurant. Say, okay, I check it out, how much is the price? He say, all right, $1.45 in special today. Okay, I pick them up, 5 onions. When we go outside, my wife, she say, hey, why we pay too much today for these 5 pieces we buy in the grocery shopping, He say, let me know, I check ¿cómo se dice? Factura.
The receipt.
Receipt, I check the receipt. Oh my God, dice my wife, $5.65 for 5 onions. $5.65 for 5 onions. Say, let me know. I go talk to inside, the place. I talk to the representative, the boss, say, hey, I have one reclamo, ¿cómo dice reclamo?
I have a complaint.
I have one complaint here, He say, listen this. I check, pick up my receipt, put in the table. Say, I go inside the grocery shopping, check it out, the card over there. He say, all right, you okay? All right, you say, what we do? Say, okay, we not responsible for this. It's the employee representative for this. These people change the position. He say, he put the price wrong, o sea, puso un precio cambiado de otra cebolla en el lugar incorrecto, y él tiene que pagar la diferencia, los $3 y pico a mí.
So since it was an error on part of the employees, the employee who switched up the sign, the employee has to pay the difference that basically my dad paid for those onions. So my dad paid $5, and if the onions cost fue como 1.40, ¿verdad? And they were supposed to cost
$1.45.
$1.45
al kilo.
So they have to pay the difference of that, which is unfortunate.
La diferencia era $3.60 y el costo real de la cebolla que tenía que yo pagar era $2.20, $2.25. Entonces, él dice, el chico tiene que devolverte $3.25. El chico, no la cadena, sino el chico, okay, el empleado. Entonces yo digo, it's okay, I no cry for money. He say, it's only I cry for this. You guys put one price over here and charge other price in the cashier. Ese era el reclamo mío.
So that's the situation. So basically he's saying oh, this happened. He's not oh, the money's not the issue. The issue is that you guys put one thing and, then you charge another over here, which is wrong. So it's kind of deceiving, if you will. But it's not their fault. It's not the franchise's fault. It's not Supermaxi's fault. It was the fault of the employee that changed it up. Ahí, Mark Moran, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mark
I know, I read.
Te compró un café, por decirlo así. Ahí también un comentario de Naso, D-Nation. The politicians in Trinidad and Tobago are very bad as well. Too much crime and corruption. I was very impressed when I visited Ecuador. Lots of nice culture, food, and people. Everyone is so friendly. Yeah, in general, that's the reality over here. It's just like my dad said, politicians ruin everything.
And all South America, all politicians is shit.
Oh, in South America, general situation.
Situation is shit. Peru, Bolivia, change the presidents. In Chile, social problem hubieron las revueltas por casi 4 meses, problemas así como manifestaciones.
Paros, por decirlo
Paros,
así.
paros,
So there were
manifestaciones.
strikes, ¿dónde?
En Chile estuvo el
Chile,
año pasado, 4
last year.
meses, y ayer. Perú, comenzando el año, seguía el problema, 6 meses casi de problema. Bolivia también. Entonces, Brasil, todo Sudamérica, Argentina. La gente está pobre porque
Sí, Argentina sí vi que está
que
horrible.
por la economía hubo una
Argentina
devaluación.
is really, really bad right now
Sí.
as
We
well.
passed for this situation in year 1999 when the money changed in this country. It's same situation. It's same situation. Sí.
Aquí, por cierto, Mark Horning había dicho que le gusta tu humor. El humor que tienes.
Ah, no. I am happy. You know.
VP, in US we've had 300 mass shootings. Bad is relative. Sí, el malo es relativo, porque en Estados Unidos han tenido 300 los shootings, eso. El tiroteo,
Ah, sí, claro.
han tenido como 300 allá en Estados Unidos.
Sí,
hasta
pero
ahora.
eso es por problemas raciales, ¿ya no? Problemas raciales, problemas de las escuelas, son diferentes tópicos de situaciones. Pero en cambio aquí mueren un promedio de casi al día en lo que logran decir o uno se informa, más o menos un promedio de casi 25, 30 muertos por día solamente por sicariato.
So basically, he's saying that it depends on the situation. Of course, like you said, BP, it's relative. Over there, the problems are more based on certain issues with, I guess, race and certain things with schools, from what we could hear. Over here, it's all the whole situation with the assassinations, the assassins, as we call here the sicariatos, and what I talked about before. And he said daily now, there's at least around 20 to 25, maybe 30 people who are suffering due to this, who, well, pass away, the nice way of saying it. También BP dice para cuándo ¿cómo se dice? Las clases de cocina.
Whatever you guys need, you know.
I'm planning on it. O sea, yo ya les dije que sí un día para ver si hacemos en video guatita.
Oh, yeah.
Para hacer guatita. Una comida así, platos típicos de acá.
No. No,
Para
I am ready. Only he needs his time.
So basically soon, hopefully. Y ahí Mark Horning está de acuerdo con lo que dice BPE, que es relativo. Daniel dice que los políticos en América también son...
Mierda.
sí. Y lamentablemente parece ser un problema mundial.
General,
porque
sí,
es
es general. You know, Rusia, Ucrania,
Yeah, there's that too.
these people pass 1 year, yeah, or no, in the war, you know. It's 1 year. Yeah,
It has been a year.
February, July, 5 months, 17 months. Yeah, for nothing. People die. Nobody say, it's okay, we check, we try, we do this. Continue. Yeah. Es política, nada más. No.
Politics.
Interest, economic, no? Uranio, petroleum, gas. This is nada más, economic.
It's all about the economy. Wherever there's money, there's always problems. Aquí, because sunrise, sunset only changes slightly throughout the year in Ecuador due to its location at the equator, does this help alleviate seasonal affective disorder? I don't know what seasonal affective disorder is, sorry to say. Está preguntando si aquí, por el hecho de que lo que es sunrise y sunset solo cambia un poco por el hecho de que Ecuador está en el equator, si ayuda con lo que es seasonal affective disorder. No estoy seguro, me imagino que un problema que tienes por cambio de temporadas, supongo se podría decir. No sé cómo se traduce exactamente en español.
Es el cambio de clima. O sea, las estaciones se llama. Aquí tenemos invierno y verano, no más.
Claro,
¿Okay?
pero por eso dice que si eso, o sea, si por el hecho de que no hay tantos cambios aquí, si eso ayudaría en eso. O sea, en este caso creo que sería su posición. O sea, el hecho de que no hay tantos cambios, me imagino que ayuda un poco.
No necesariamente, porque no nació con estas estaciones, ¿ok? O sea, y eso no va a cambiar nunca. O sea, ya nosotros estamos acostumbrados a tener invierno y verano.
Parece que es una manera complicada de decir alergias. O sea, si esto ayuda con alergias, por decirlo así. O sea, el hecho de que no hay tanto cambio de
Claro,
clima.
el cambio de estación hace que vengan las lluvias y las lluvias traen consigo diferentes enfermedades. Y cuando sale de las lluvias al verano viene el poquito de frío y viene con diferentes enfermedades. Entonces, es como tú dices, es relativo, ¿no? De acuerdo a cómo esté la persona, también la alimentación de la persona. Hoy en día hay mucha pobreza y regularmente las situaciones se dan donde la gente humilde receta todo. O sea, cuando pasa una desgracia, un incendio, no pasa en un barrio bueno, pasa en un barrio humilde. Cuando viene una inundación, no pasa en un barrio bueno, viene en un barrio humilde. Entonces, ¿por qué? Porque todos los servicios son precarios. ¿Okay? Una casa no es de concreto, sino es de madera, zinc y por ahí unos cuantos ladrillos. Pero en cambio en una casa de un rico, de una gente que viva media línea para arriba, la casa es de cemento, entonces no tiene esos problemas. Entonces,
So basically, what he's saying with this whole the allergies or the SAD is that it really is going to depend on the person. Some people will obviously be affected more depending on how they take care of themselves, how they eat, what they do,
el aseo
their life,
personal.
you know, how they take care of themselves. But he says that people over here that are more affected by these things are generally people who live in poorer areas, people who don't have as much, you know, economic ability or stability to be able to buy good things, give themselves a better, you know, a better life, I guess you could say, in general, because they live in houses that can't withstand weather conditions as well. They have to eat food that maybe isn't the highest quality. So, you know, it really depends on
Dile,
the person and their economic situation.
estamos en el siglo XXI, ¿ya? Estamos en el siglo XXI donde se supone que el mundo avanzó tecnológicamente, pero por malas decisiones de los políticos, todavía existen casas de caña y de madera en las invasiones. Entonces, ¿por qué? Porque todas son promovidas por políticos, ¿entiendes? Entonces,
So basically, we're living in the 21st century, and even now, there's still this
no debería
situation.
haber eso ya.
There shouldn't be houses made out of like wood or like or cane, and yet we still see that. And why? It's because of the politics, the politicians. So it's just a weird way of saying that
Regresamos a lo mismo. Dice.
we're going back to the same thing. Let me go back to some of the questions. Regresar a algunas preguntas. Mark ahí respondió un poco de su parte porque él también, como ahorita está en España y él
Ajá.
estuvo acá. El otro Mark Morán, dice si a ti te gusta el encebollado tanto como a mí.
Sí, es uno de mis platos. No 100% favorito, pero sí me gusta.
It's not his 100% favorite, but he likes it. Let me see here. BP dice cómo te nombran. Yo digo Gonzo. Supongo.
Don Gonzo,
Don Gonzo. Don Gonzo works for my dad, so you can call him Don.
dile que yo
Gonzo.
prefiero que me digan Don Gonzo y no me digan this politic motherfucker. Porque me han propuesto, dile así.
He prefers this over calling him the political mother beep because, you know, since he talks about that, he, like, people have like told him like they can call him that if he wants. Ahí BP está preguntando cómo está el clima en la costa, en los Andes.
En la costa, lluvia.
Rain, over here rain.
Oh, rain. Y en la sierra está un poquito frío ahorita. Porque
In the
cuando
highlands, it's a little bit cold.
Cuando llueve en la costa bastante, en la sierra enfría. Cuando en la sierra hace calor, en la costa hace frío.
Like I said in my tips video, it's the reverse. If it's hot over here, it's cold over there. If it's cold over there, it's probably hot over here. It's hot over here, and it's raining. I was gonna say, as part of my climate update, at night there's been like thunderstorms in la noche. There's been like thunderstorms and like heavy rain these past few weeks, like casi como 2 semanas atrás, ya a estas alturas, where it'll be around like, let's just say like around 7, 8, or 9, and you'll hear thunder, and then afterwards you'll start seeing rain, like a lot of it, at least here in the coast.
Big lightings.
Lightning, so there's a lot of that over here. It is very bad and disappointing. I think Ecuador has so much potential. Yes, Ecuador tiene potencial, pero...
Tiene potencial, pero no ha sido explotada. O sea,
Adecuadamente.
adecuadamente, sí.
So we haven't taken advantage of it the correct way. A ver si hay otra pregunta. Mark Moran, tonight some friends are taking me for my first time eating salchipapas. Any recommendations on how to enjoy them? Parece que Mark Moran le van a llevar a comer salchipapas. ¿Cuál es la mejor manera de comer salchipapas?
Con la mano.
Might I say with your hand, but being serious, pero siendo serio, a ver, I would recommend, because over here, acá lo hacen, porque en Estados Unidos no es común. In the United States, it's very common to eat your French fries and other things with ketchup. Ketchup. French fries is ketchup.
Ketchup, yeah.
Over here, you eat it with mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
So if you have mayonnaise, and if you have mayonnaise with garlic, es el mayonesa con ajo es
Ajá.
really, really good.
Or you mix the mayonnaise and ketchup, is the cocktail sauce, is good.
If you can also mix mayonnaise with ketchup, and it tastes good.
Good.
So if you want to eat it like someone here, you could eat it with mayonnaise. You can put ketchup and mix the
And
mayonnaise and the
chimichurri.
ketchup. If you have chimichurri, which is like the special sauce that they put for some barbecue places, you can eat it with that too. Or like my dad said at the beginning, eat it with your hands.
Normally, I like fries, no nothing, only fries, that's it.
I like my fries plain as well. I've gotten used to it. A ver. Yeah, una pregunta interesante.
Dime.
De la parte de Mrs. S. Secret Notebook. By the way, buenas Mrs. S. The area you live in el área que vivimos, ¿hay algún problema en lo que es referente a religión o racismo?
No, aquí, o sea, en el área que vivimos, Puerto Viejo, no. No hay problema de religión ni de racismo. Lo único que nos afecta hoy en día mucho es la migración de, en este caso, sorry por los venezolanos, pero nos ha llegado gente de un nivel muy bajo y eso hace que ellos no quieran trabajar y solo se han dedicado a la mendicidad. O sea, es triste para mí ver una madre con 3 niños, ya, que estén desde las 4 de la tarde hasta las 11:30 de la noche, con lluvia, sentados ahí, con un niño que le dan un palito con eso de limpia vidrios, donde no llega ni a la parte de la mitad, pero para que le den una moneda, ¿ok? Entonces, es triste para mí ver esa situación, pero nosotros no podemos hacer nada porque a ellos nadie los obligó. Yo un día le pregunté, ¿cómo tú puedes tomar una decisión de teniendo una vida, venir a una peor vida? Si estabas en Venezuela, por lo menos tenías un techo, ¿cómo tú no te vienes a un país donde no tienes un techo? Porque duermen en la calle, duermen afuera de los restaurantes, afuera de ciertos lugares que yo paso en la mañana que voy a un local y los veo ahí que duermen, no 1, 2, 12, 15, 20 people en one small espacio.
Okay, déjame igual traducir todo eso entonces mientras tanto.
Okay.
So basically, first to answer the question with the
No hay,
with the religion and racism, that's that problem at least here where we're at in Puerto Viejo, not a problem. It doesn't exist. But the problem right now that we're facing here has to do with migration. And like my dad said, unfortunately for the Venezuelans, it's the migration of people from Venezuela that's causing I guess you could say, a problem, because they're coming here and it's people from the very, very lower class who's coming here and they're not working. So they're looking to make a life through begging, through asking for money, what you call in Spanish, mendigar. So they're trying to make a living through that. And for my dad, and for me, and anyone who has a soul, it's unfortunate to see them in that position. Like, they're out on the streets all day. Rain, sun, like, in any condition. They're out there all day. And sometimes it's a mother with children. And this mother is like, either she's asking for money or she has the children out there, like, you know, asking for money, or like with like a stick and like something to like wipe off the windows, because they can't even reach the windows because they're trying to clean the windows of the cars. And it's little kids who can't reach these windows, and they're out there cleaning windows, and it's so sad to see that. And my dad says that he asked, and he hasn't given the answer yet, but he asked someone how you can leave your life in Venezuela, where you actually have a roof over your head, to come here to a situation that's even worse than the one you had in Venezuela, because there you had a house, you had a roof over your head. Over here you have nothing. The people are literally sleeping on the streets.
On the streets. This. Aparte de eso, eso ha hecho que la sociedad hoy discrimine, ¿ok? Porque decir uno es poco, o sea, son cientos de migrantes que mendigan en todos los semáforos. Semáforo que cruza, usted se va, persona que va a ver de 1 a 10, o sea, por semáforo. Thinking you guys, por 10 semáforos, son 100 personas que están mendigando. A esas 100 personas le da 10 centavos por intento de semáforo. Está hablando de $10, ¿ok? Por semáforo. Cada semáforo son 30 segundos. O sea, tienen 2 intentos por minuto, ¿ya? Entonces son 120 intentos, que serían 120 centavos, ¿ya? Que serían $12.
Claro. Si
¿Ya?
es que lo pones
1200,
en 10 centavos.
perdón, 1200 centavos. ¿Okay?
Si es que lo pones en 10
Claro,
centavos por cada
claro.
vez que te den. Si
Okay.
te dan más, a veces mejor.
Yo le pongo a 10 centavos, nada más. Que eso es lo mínimo que le dan, así.
So basically he's saying that the situation is, well, one of the problems with the migration and how the people who are coming here are doing things in this migration is the fact that when they come here, since they don't work, it causes a kind of like discrimination towards them. People look at them like, what are you doing here? And you're not working, and you're being lazy, and that gives you the wrong idea of Venezuelans in general. So there could be good Venezuelans, of course. Like there's people who work here who are excellent Venezuelans.
Hay otra gente buena.
There's excellent Venezuelans here. But the people who come here, the majority, give a bad image for the ones who are trying to give a good image, trying to do a good thing here. So he gave an example of like how the people who like they beg on the streets, like how they actually do make some money. I guess it's relative. It's not always going to be the same. But if you think about it, every traffic light, there's at least, let's just say 3 or 4 people asking for money. So every time the light stops, like they get an opportunity to ask for money.
Tienen 120 oportunidades por hora.
So they have like 120 opportunities per hour to ask for money. And in that time,
que le den 10 centavos.
If they get 10 cents
por each.
Each
light.
In each light,
1,200 centavos, que son $12 por hora.
That's 1,200 cents, which is $12 pretty much per hour.
Per hour.
It's math. He understands it more than I do, and he explained it in Spanish, but it's basically math, where they can make a profit if they try hard enough, but it's through the process of begging and not actual working. So let's see here. Continuando desde esa pregunta, si tuvieras que elegir, ¿cuál es mejor, Ecuador o Estados Unidos? USA or Ecuador?
O sea, Estados Unidos es un país hermoso pero consumista. Y Ecuador es un país hermoso para vivir. Esa es mi concepción.
So the United States is beautiful, but for consumption.
Todo te lo quitan.
It's like everything you earn, you lose. They take it from you. And over here, it's just a beautiful place to live.
Dile que mi jefe que yo tenía,
his boss when he was in the States,
él decía que Estados Unidos es un comunismo disfrazado de democracia.
His boss said that the States is communism disguised as democracy. Democracia, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yeah. So
viven en democracia, pero en realidad es un comunismo porque todo te lo quitan en seguros, impuestos y...
yeah, you live in a democracy, but it's like a communism because everything you earn, it's taken away through taxes, through things that you just, random payments, I guess you could say. A ver, otra pregunta que esté por aquí. Another question. I have a friend
Oh, ya van a ser las 5.
that blames so much of the current problems on the Venezuelans, kind of like US view Mexican. Sí, o sea, acá, él tiene un amigo, Mark Horning, tiene un amigo que culpa a los venezolanos acá, similarmente como los americanos culpan a los mexicanos o
Así es. No,
latinoamericanos.
es que es normal. Es normal.
It's normal. They are sleeping on the streets in places I'd never imagined in the US, que ellos duermen en las calles en Estados Unidos, en lugares que...
Que no, así, fuera de los restaurantes, de plazas, parques. Entonces, se pierde la identidad.
use a lot of the identity, and people blame, I guess, the same way over here. That's what causes discrimination.
Y uno
It's
que
the
paga
view.
impuestos, reclama, son más bravos que uno todavía. Entonces,
And they're angrier than us who actually pay import fees. Not import, taxes. Aquí otra pregunta. Would you recommend flying into Guayaquil first, then traveling to the highlands over a period of a few days to help with adjusting to altitude? ¿Recomendarías viajar, o sea, primero entrar a Guayaquil, digamos, tú vienes de Estados Unidos a otro país, a Guayaquil, y después de ahí viajar a lo que es la sierra para como que acostumbrarte a la altura? O I would say yeah, because that just sounds logical. O sea, a mí me suena lógico, pero no sé si eso ayude o no.
no necesariamente. ¿No? Porque si tú llegas, te adaptas a donde estás. Entonces, claro que si tú vienes de una zona fría a una zona cálida, lo vas a sentir. Y si vienes de una zona cálida a una zona fría, también lo vas a sentir. O sea, es relativo, ¿me entiendes eso?
It's relative to where you come from too. If you're coming from a place that has, I guess if you look at it from climate sense, if it's hot from where you're at and you go to a cold place, then you have to adapt to that. Pero es que lo estamos viendo como más por altura. O sea, porque hay personas que le afecta la altura.
La altura, lógico, pero igual no. Si tú vienes de Estados Unidos 1 metro sobre el nivel del mar y vienes a Guayaquil 1 metro sobre el nivel del mar, no te va a pasar nada. Pero si te vas a la altura, igual después de 3 días lo vas a sentir igual.
So basically saying that no matter what, you're going to feel it after 3 days of being in a place that has
Es
high
simple,
altitude.
dile. Nosotros vivimos acá y cuando vamos a la sierra nos coge la altura.
Oh yeah, a lot of people here, that does happen. That's why when we play sports and we have to travel to like the highlands, we always say, damn, it's gonna suck going to the highlands because it's gonna affect us since you get affected by the altitude. And it would be the same thing. If you go to Guayaquil, you'd just be like going back to the normal altitude that you're used to. And then once you go over to the highlands, you'd still be taking in all of the altitude. A menos que de alguna forma pudieras parar así en medio, o sea, poco a poco ir subiendo.
Una selección de fútbol recomendó tomar Viagra para subir a la altura.
Eso es lo que también la persona que vino aquí cuando yo fui a Quito. Apparently Viagra is a recommendation that a sports team gave if you're going into high altitudes. We're not sponsored by any Viagra company, by the way. We're not recommending
one
it.
team de
It's just
soccer, dile.
a soccer team recommended it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Y le ganó a Ecuador, Brasil.
And that's how they beat Ecuador.
Brasil le ganó 3-0 a Ecuador tomando Viagra.
Oh my God. Ecuador was beaten by Brazil because they took Viagra. I don't think that's the only reason, but you know. So yeah. Creo que por lo menos por ahora, esa es la pregunta, porque ahorita están teniendo una conversación. There's like a conversation here.
Yeah.
Acerca de ciertas cosas que están hablando así del asunto. Entonces no sé si tienes que ir igual a...
Al local, sí, ya son las 5, sí.
So yeah, right now my dad has to go because he's got to go to work. He's got to go to the business. So guys, at least he will go for now, but I will stay here, of course. So if you want to say bye to him, now's your chance. Ahí Mark Moran dice que sus amigos que son atletas en Quito dicen que cuando compiten en lo que es la costa se sienten maravillosos.
Claro, que es como un pez en el agua, dice. ¿No?
Yeah, because it's super easy for them.
Porque tienen una mayor producción de glóbulos rojos. Por esa es la razón.
They produce more red blood cells. Ahí Mark Horning dice Viagra, que no quiere ni tocar esa. Ahí una última pregunta. Last question from Cynthia. ¿Qué sucede cuando un nuevo gobierno está elegido? ¿Qué sucede con las personas indígenas? ¿O qué va a suceder? ¿Qué sucederá?
No va a pasar nada. Sigue igual.
Nothing. Things will stay the same.
Sigue igual. Ya vienen pasando por siglos, 2 siglos. Yo tengo ya viviendo en 2 siglos, en el 2021, ¿ok? Y sigue igual.
Basically, things are going to stay the same.
No va,
like
no.
time has passed, like he's seen it pass and nothing has changed. Bueno, sí. Listo, ahí se están despidiendo. Mark Horning, bye.
Bye, guys.
Mark
Thank
Moran.
you. Well, maybe you guys understand me, But I am happy now to talk to you guys and my boy, I appreciate it. Bye-bye,
All right, guys. Hey, micrófono. The mic.
I go to work.
Work time. Right, turn off the mic. But that's it for another day. Maybe we can do another session with him here as well. So yeah, he went down to go work. Typically Saturdays are the heavier days when he works. Saturdays he normally works until around maybe like 1 in the morning. So right now it's 5. Imagine 5. That would be around 7, 8, 9 hours. Sometimes until 2. So yeah, let me see here. Some questions. Mark Horning, by the way, one does not need a prescription for Viagra in Ecuador. I want to ask you, Mark, how you know that, but don't want to put you on the spot. But if you want to tell everyone how you know that, so let's see here. BPE, the Pope wanted cocoa leaves. He settled for yerba mate tea. Hadn't heard about that. What if I want to stay at your home temporarily? You'd have to talk to my dad. He's the one who makes the executive home decisions. So, let me position myself well. It looks really weird. Maybe because there's still the chair here. So I'm going to move this over here. I think we're good. So yeah. So yeah, Mrs. S, you definitely have to talk with Don Gonzo. Like he said, call him Don Gonzo. Ace, do you need to elevate your leg? How is it? I was told I only needed to elevate it for the first 3 days. And I'm not sure if that's because of, like I felt really uncomfortable during like the second or third day. Because when I elevated my leg, since I had to be laying down, my back felt kind of like I don't know, kind of like a pain. It was weird. And some of these days I've been feeling like kind of like stomach pain. I know it has nothing to do with my leg. I don't know if it's just anxiety at this point, but it feels kind of like rumbly sometimes. So I'm like, but yeah, it's I do elevate it from time to time. Like right now, I can elevate it again. I have it over here. While my dad was here, I had it down, but now I have it elevated again. So I'm gonna take care of it. I'm still taking care of it, of course. I've been going to work as promised with crutches. The worker in the academy, he's the guy who like helps with maintenance and stuff. He picks me up and takes me to work every day. I have to pay him something at the end of the month. But we came to an agreement with that. So I appreciate everyone who helped me out in the last live stream and made that possible because it helps me out in my current situation. If I need to buy any more medicine or any more things, of course. But most of the money either way, I mainly wanted it so I could help my dad because like he said, like there's a problem where people don't want to go out. They don't want to buy stuff. So it's like, do I have enough dinero? Wait, I have to answer other questions, but do I have enough dinero? Yes, I do. To get to work and to get back. I just can't do anything other than that. I'm trying to save. Don't worry, I'm still trying to minimize costs. There are things I want to buy, like a chair, because this chair is super uncomfortable. It's kind of like this chair, but it's but I have a pillow down here. So for these streams, it would be good to have a better chair. But anyways, going back to the rest of the comments, because I do want to answer all of them. Roddy, hello Roddy. Gonzo's Chusos, yes, you have to come try Gonzo's Chusos for sure. Everyone who comes. You can only stay at Ace's home if you sleep in a Spider-Man uniform. It's an option. It's an option. Let's see here. Thank you, Ace's father. Love to see you and your dad together. Thank you very much. I'm actually glad that he was actually able to make it, and we still have to record videos together with him. So give me time, and I will work with him on some things. Right now, I don't know if it's the best time. I've been recording all of my videos just sitting down, but even just preparing, because I have to take all of my gear to the living room, set it up, and then record. The good thing is, since I have this watch, like I can just record like this and like record like this by pressing a button. So if not, it would be big pain. It would be really, really hard to stop and play, stop and play, stop and record, I mean. So yeah. Do you have an, oh, I already read that one. Mark Moran, out of curiosity, how much do you have to pay for a month of rides to work? According to well, not my secretary, but the secretary at the academy, she talked to the guy who works there, and she came to an agreement, like, for every trip, it's like $1.50. So $1.50 there, $1.50 back. I go around 3 days, 4 days a week. So I haven't really done the math. I just accepted the value because I don't want to like how would you say this? I don't want to like cheap out and just say like, oh no, like this value is what I have to pay, because that would be like, you know, I don't want to like say this is what the rides should cost me. I don't want to like, how would I say? I don't want to haggle it down and then them feel like, oh no, you're not paying me what I deserve or something. I don't like that argument or conversation. I think if you think this is fair, I'm good with the price as long as you're not trying to gringo me. And he wouldn't gringo me anyways because he knows me. But anyways, let me do the math over here. So $1.50 times 2, which is 2 times a day, which is 3. Then you multiply that by around 4 days a week times 12, which is 4 weeks in a month, which is 48, which is 2 months, $96. So $96. So for me to pay for taxi there and taxi back. Not taxi, but my transportation. At least that's what I assume if he's charging me $1.50 per ride. Because the secretary at the academy said that was the approximate, but she was going to try to see if she can get it a little bit lower. Let's see here. Mark Horning, excelente mi buen amigo. Poco a poco. Yes, we will definitely get there. Let's see. Ace, see if you can find someone. Recommend natural anti-inflammatory. Arnica, yes, I will try to see if I can find some of that. Do you think the anti-inflammatory medicine is like hurting my stomach? I don't know. Oh my goodness, Mark. Dude, that is, oh my God. Oh, I'm glad I can control my emotions, but thank you very much. Thank you. Like, dude, you are awesome. You're awesome, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna tell my dad that we gotta get that encebollado. Like, we gotta go for that. Oh man, or maybe I can tell my brother to bring me the tacos that I talked about before, because those are amazing. Dude, Mark, damn, I don't even know how to thank you, because like, man, I hope you get value from the content. I hope everything that I do here really, really helps you out, because like this is just crazy. Like it was like when Don helped me out and I was like, I don't even know how to thank him. He's already helped me out so much. He was the one who helped me with the microphones to be able to record better content. Man, dude, no, thanks is always necessary. Like, I can't do this, I can't receive this help and not be thankful. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who's here. If you're here, you don't have to, like, you don't have to. I appreciate it, but like, man, I'm like lost for words. I don't know. I think I should answer more questions. So I see a question. How are dental services in Ecuador? They're good. I wouldn't say they're like, wow. Like, think about my current medical video, the healthcare system. It's like you can see that they're like little private owned places typically the dentists have, and they're good. my best friend's girlfriend, Mark Horning, you know, and Annabelle, she's actually a dentist, odontologa. We also have a friend of the family who is also an odontologist, a dentist, and she checks my teeth out from time to time. They're not great yet, but I do plan on hopefully one day getting, you know, my teeth maybe whitened, because I do have this problem with the coloring, but like that's not a priority right now. That's just a hopeful thing I want to do in the future when the situation is better. But from my experiences with a dentist, everything has been good. Like no problems here. The only time I've seen a situation that I felt was not ideal was one time, like in the past, when I had a girlfriend and she had braces. And I don't know how long braces are supposed to take, because when I was in the States, I had braces. I actually did have braces. And my girlfriend got braces over here. She's Ecuadorian, at the time, and she had braces. And I swear, like from the moment she had braces, our relationship lasted like around let's put it like around 3 to 4 years. And like the majority of the time we were together, she had braces. And it was like 3 to 4 years, and I was like, do you think like you know, you shouldn't have like braces like now? Like I don't know if they're trying to like have you have them for a long time or something, but I feel like this should have ended a long time ago. I'm not a dentist. I don't know. I was using my experience to try to compare, and that's why I felt like she had them for too long. So I don't know if that dentist just happened to be bad, but it just felt kind of weird to me, you know? But yeah, that was the situation. So I think dentists are good here. I just can't confirm all of them are good. And I don't know if every dental appointment that requires braces or things like that take a long time, you know? So let's see here. Daniel, do they have a lot of street vendors, namely food in Puerto Viejo? They are all over the place. That's another problem that I guess that's just something that happens everywhere. I don't know if in the States as well, but like you see so many options for food that it's like a competition. Like who can sell their food at the cheapest? So food businesses are like the most common thing you're gonna see here. Like out of every business that I've seen cell phone businesses, I've seen clothing shops, I've seen, what else can I tell you? Places that they sell like furniture, of course. But the main business I see is always restaurants. So there's a lot of street vendors. Some of them are more formal and have an actual like indoor place. Like my dad has something small, but he has something indoors. But of course, you can also find street vendors, people who like they cart food, not like big food. Sometimes they'll just cart ice cream or these like little snacks, but they exist. They do exist. So there's a lot in Puerto Viejo. I can speak for Puerto Viejo a lot, and there's a lot. I went to Quito, and there were a lot in Quito, but Puerto Viejo, I feel like there's just everywhere. But they're not all good. Puerto Viejo's food is good in general, but not every place has the best food. Let's see, Ricardo, hi, we met a few months ago, all good. Hello, Ricardo, I hope you're doing well. Ace's friend, Don Shader has good videos on dentists. Yes, definitely check out Don Shader's content. He's got a lot of information on that end as well. Way cool. Yeah, Mark Moran, it was way cool. What you did. Anti-inflammatory medicines are harsh on the gut. Oh, no wonder. It felt so weird because my stomach was like, these days it's been kind of like less, but when I was taking the medicine the first few days, it felt like I thought I had eaten something bad, and I was just like with an upset stomach. I didn't want to do anything, but now I feel better. It's just some days that I wake up and my stomach feels weird, so I'm not sure if it's anxiety or what. Like it does make me kind of desperate to see my leg like this and not be able to do anything, but it's a necessary evil, I guess. Crooks Hideaway, hello, how's it going? Buenas, I mean. Mark is awesome. Yes, he is, Cynthia. Daniel, now your rides are paid for. You do know you have a support team here that will help you whenever they can. Guys, you guys are the best. Like, the community is really, really, really what's getting me through this situation. And not just because you guys are helping me with this, like, wow, like, my God, Mark, but it's also because you guys have been watching the videos, commenting. I see the comments, I just can't reply to all of them. There are too many comments for me to reply to at once. I'm getting through them little by little, but I appreciate them. I don't know if you noticed, but every time I reply to a comment, I make a very detailed comment, like around 30 minutes. Like, not 30 minutes, I'm exaggerating at that point, but it does take me a long time to reply to each comment because it's a personalized comment. I don't just say, oh, thank you. Unless it's a very short comment, like saying, oh, thanks for your content, I will say thank you back. But if you ask me a question, I will literally take my time to reply to it. And having this opportunity to interact, to keep my mind occupied, to know that you guys are here for me, really, that's what keeps me, like, okay. Like, it helps me, like, in this time where I can't do anything, it helps me be okay. A lot of my friends say, but hey, but now you can play video games, watch anime, watch series, watch movies, and do whatever you want. I could, but that doesn't feel right. I always want to do something that helps. That's why I recorded the medical podcast super fast, the healthcare podcast. I already have another video I'm editing right now. It's in the works. It should be ready by Monday, hopefully, but I will release it probably on, I'm thinking either Tuesday or Friday. If it's not out on Tuesday, then definitely expect it on Friday. And I already have the idea for the next video. If you've been paying attention to my community posts, you'll have an idea of what the next video might be about. And I've got some good news about that as well. I'll be sharing it in a community post later on, probably. So I don't want to. Here they say like, okay, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. I'll leave it at that. So yeah. Hello from Ontario, Canada. Hello, and Anna, the path to oneness. I don't know why, but when I think of oneness, when I think of anything meditation, I don't know if this is meditation related, I might be wrong. It just makes me feel like doing this, which is probably wrong in some way, shape, or form. BPE, ACE, turmeric, put it in food. In US, can buy dry and powder. It has no taste. I take and give to my dog that broke her leg years ago. She runs around like nothing. I should see if I can find that. I'm actually gonna write that down over here. Turmeric. Turmeric. Okay. So I can, because I do forget. My brain gets fuzzy. Bicarbonate soda rubbed with water helps with whitening of teeth. We do take bicarbonate sometimes here, but for like stomach problems. I haven't tried it for whitening. I'm afraid that if I read once, if you try to do that, like it could damage your teeth. I'm not sure if that's wrong. Yeah, baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. Haven't tried it. I do like the idea though. Mark Moran, braces when you're a kid take less time. So then maybe it's because she wasn't a kid anymore. I mean, we were in college, so I mean, technically we're kids. I still feel like a kid, so it's, I don't know. Also gargling oils like oil pulling coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil works. But the thing is, I think you would need like actual extra virgin olive oil. I've heard that sometimes they sell it in stores and it's not the authentic oil. So I kind of worry. That's why I don't know what to buy because it's expensive. I don't even go out and buy the oil, and my dad is always telling me oil is super expensive. So it's like, kind of risky. Oil pulling is great. Same ideas as castor oil packs for detoxing, I believe. You guys are gonna have to write this in a community post. I'm gonna make a comment, and what are your recommendations for for my teeth or for like whitening teeth. I don't know. Feels like a weird post to make. Cynthia, I have seen posts on YouTube and Facebook about hospitals holding patients under armed guard until they pay the bill in full or refusing to release the deceased body until someone pays. Is that true? Wow, if that is true, that is messed up. I don't like I think I read a comment earlier about how expensive it is to get healthcare in the States, and I agree. Like, I'm not over here touting that the States is like the ideal solution with how expensive it is. Not at all. I think it's great that Ecuador is cheap. It's just it's very unorganized. You heard if you heard the podcast episode, my friends who are doctors said it's just so unorganized, and like there's so many things missing and so many problems with it that it could be so good, like it could be amazing, but it isn't because of all of these things. I guess every place has its like but. Like this, but Ecuador, it's like free healthcare, but lack of organization, lack of preparation, lack of education of people to understand don't go to the hospital for a sneeze. So yeah. Castor oil is amazing for lipoma lumps, fibroids, cysts, cancer lumps. Just place in some oil on a soak pad and place in skin area overnight, 1 hour per day. That's an interesting thing. I've never heard of that. Vivian, hello Vivian, good, buenas. ¿Qué te hizo mudarte a vivir a Estados Unidos y por qué volviste a Ecuador? Why did he move to the USA and why did he come back to Ecuador? If I had to give an immediate answer, which is incomplete, of course, I will give a more detailed answer later on in a big video about this whole topic because there's a lot to talk about with that. Story time. But basically, let's just look at it as the situation. The economic situation in the States when my dad decided to come back wasn't the best. So let's just for now leave it at that. Por ahora, la situación económica, the economic situation. That's all I'll say. Mark Moran, I found some turmeric in the Super Maxi in Quito. There could be. You know, it's kind of weird how some Super Maxis, Mega Maxis as well, some of them have more things, some of them have less. It's a weird thing. I remember once I was looking for, when I used to eat a lot of chocolate. I love chocolate, but I control myself now. There's this chocolate called Otis Spunkmeyer muffins. Or I don't know if they're cupcakes, but I remember calling them muffins. And I found them in Super Maxi because I used to eat them in the States. And I was so happy when I found them in Super Maxi. But then when I went to Super Maxi to look for them again, didn't find them. Recently, like let's just say after 6 years, they have them again. But when I visited Don Shader, my brother Don, over in Manta, he had some. And he said you can find them in the Super Maxi there. So it seems to be like, it depends on the Super Maxi. Some of them have more, some of them have less. I'm assuming it's an issue of demand, you know, supply and demand. They might have been over here. I was the only one buying maybe. So they just stopped selling them there. Could be. So yeah. If you add lemon and leave for longer, then may damage teeth. I wouldn't be surprised. By the way, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's raining. It started raining. I'm just surprised there's no thunder. The acid in lemon, vinegar, and other things can be damaging. I agree, Mark. My other dentist told us after eating fruits, it's wise to gargle with water, milk, and wait a few minutes before brushing teeth. That's something I'd never heard of before. I've always wondered, is there a detriment to brushing your teeth constantly? I feel like if you brush your teeth too much, you start to damage them. Not sure. Let's see here. Well, right now, no questions. If you have any questions, please ask. As you can see, or as you can hear, or maybe you can't see or hear it, so I don't know. I don't think you're gonna be able to see it from here, but it is raining outside. Unfortunately, I have the weirdest setup in my room where I have a porch, a, a porch, and I don't have anything to, like, I can't see anything except for some light because there's a building right there. Because my grandma, well, I guess it's because my grandma decided to build some places to rent, but it's raining. It is officially raining outside. But no thunder yet. Let's see here. Vivian Wilson, Lewis of Build Dev Tours, explained that to me really well when I did a tour with him. You definitely should talk to Lewis. Not sure exactly what that was about, but talk to him. All right. What do you feel is a more affordable place to live? Downtown Puerto Viejo or Manta? Talking cost of living wise. Most people would argue that Puerto Viejo is cheaper. In general, Puerto Viejo is a cheap city. I like Puerto Viejo because it is cheap. I mean, in Cebollalo for like $2 to $3, like not a big deal. You could buy the marinero for like $5, which is really good. But Manta has more expensive things. I would say even in terms of taxis, I think they'll charge you more in Manta most of the time because it's harder to get around. So cost of living wise, they're very similar, like almost there. But Puerto Viejo, in my opinion, at least from what I've been able to gather, is cheaper. Of course, you can give yourself a heck of a good life in Puerto Viejo and make it very expensive, but I don't think, like if you were to compare the highest cost of living in Manta and Puerto Viejo, Manta would be more expensive. It's got beach, and any place that has beach, like in the city, Puerto Viejo has Crucita, but you have to drive like 40 minutes to get to it. Manta, you've got it at like 10 minutes, so definitely more expensive. Let's see here. Mark Moran, too much of anything is probably not good, except in Cebollalo. Except in Cebollalo. If I could eat in Cebollalo every day, I would. I just can't because it would come out costly. I'd have to, because, you know, think about the cost of going to get it, coming back, the price of the encebollado. When you take it to go, it's a little bit more expensive because they charge you for the container. So, you know, there's that. By the way, for everyone who's here, if you're liking the live stream, please leave a like. Share it if you can, of course. I always appreciate it. Just thought I should say that before I continue because this helps the channel grow and it helps me out and I appreciate it. Let's see here. Mark Horning, have you been in Spain long enough to have an opinion? I am also waiting for Mark's complete opinion about Spain. Let's see here. If or near Cuenca, make it a must to meet Luis. He is wonderful. Ace's twin brother from another mother. According to Mark, we are very alike. I just have not had the opportunity to meet him in person, so can't be sure, but taking Mark's word for it. Let's see here. Thanks, Mark. I'm going to Cuenca next week for a month. I'll keep that in mind. I'm still waiting for my visit, Mark. Mark Moran. You have to come to Puerto Viejo, too. The encebollado here is out of this world. And let's see. I'm beginning to, and it's so different and a bit similar. Wow, I wouldn't mind living next to you. If you mean me, that would be great. Trust me, great time over here with the food. It's just that that's the highlighting point for Puerto Viejo. It's always the food, in my opinion. There's so much other things to do in other cities, and obviously here in Puerto Viejo as well, but I just don't see it. Like, it's just because of how I am. I barely go out. One, because it's expensive to go out. I don't know how my friends who go out and drink every weekend, how they do it. But like, it's just so weird because drinking is expensive. Like, even if you just spent like $5 on a beer, like to get there, like whatever the taxi costs or the gasoline to get back, it's just, I don't know, I can't do it. For me, wasting more than $5 is tough when it's to go out once. Like if it were like a big plan, like if we were to go bowling or something, like I would be like, it's like justified because it's bowling, but something else, it's like, no. If ever a time, I think we should all get together in Manta and go with Don Shader, and we should all go bowling over in Manta. I think that would be really fun because there's a bowling alley in Manta. Or we can hang out at the beach, have a barbecue. Who knows? That would be great. Let's see here. Thanks, Mark. I'm going to Cuenca next week for a month. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see. I could, love to, but on a different platform. Let me see here. Agree on Luis. Great guy. Excellent English. Excellent on indigenous history. Ecuador understands in-depth issues like paro. Oh, the paro. Please no, not again. I would not like that to happen again. BP comment. Above was for you. Mark Moran, be warned, I'm asking you about the weather, moisture. I'm moving to Ecuador in 3 or 4 months. Let's go, BPE. I don't drink alcohol or smoke. Good, Mrs. S. I support that lifestyle. I'm not saying that it's bad if you do drink or smoke for everyone else. I respect everyone who drinks, smokes, whatever you do, as long as it does not affect anyone else and as long as you do not force it on anyone else. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any substance. The only thing I do is eat encebollado and macacos tacos and chifle. I love chifle. And a whole bunch of Ecuador food. I love pizza too, of course. I'm not against American style food, like French fries, I love it. But it's not like every day, you know? Yes, everyone get a tour with Ace. He shows you a side of Ecuador some other tours will not, and in place that is not the normal tourist place. I'm here. If you need me for a tour, I'm here. Ace, I was actually thinking of going up there on the weekend of August 11th through 13th, but I ended up having to go to LA, California for that weekend for a quick trip, so I won't be able to go this time. Mark, no. Next time. Hopefully you'll be coming back to Ecuador sometime soon, and we can chill out over here and I can show you around this wonderful city. It's not like there's tons to do, but I will show you the things that Ecuadorians do over here, and I'm sure you'll have a good time. Especially when you get to meet my friends, Nacho, and maybe I'll have more friends to introduce to you. If considering to live in Ecuador, highly recommend it. Thank you, Mark Horning. Definitely, if you're coming to live in Ecuador, we can give you an experience that is different from the other ones. These shorts are very promiscuous. So, let's see here. We are in for bowling with you and Don. Crooks, I'll be waiting for you. You tell me when you're here, and we can set up to go bowl with Don. Maybe he'll bring Stella, which would be awesome. Hapien, hello. How you doing? Wow, another one so quickly. I don't know if by another one you mean another live stream. Yes. I promised every month I would do a minimum of 1 live stream. 1 live stream per month. I will do more if something comes up. Last time it was my leg. So I had to do an emergency live stream. But right now we are on the programmed monthly live stream. Let's see here. Can't wait to move there. Anana, I can't wait for you to come. You're gonna enjoy it. I hope, I mean, it's kind of sad when you hear that the country that you live in or that you're from is not doing well. So I really hope that Canada gets better. But the situation with all countries just seems to be terrible right now. Everyone I talk to from the native country that they're from seems to tell me that every place is worse than Ecuador. Like, Ecuador is great. Obviously, we know that. Every country that you come from, you recognize, you love. Like, for anyone who's from the States, you love the States. If you're from Canada, you love Canada, I assume. People from Japan, they love Japan. But I'm hearing that the inflation is just crazy. Not good in every country. And it's causing people to want to leave desperately. Very socialist. I paint and write. I can cook meat. Tell your parents from me. I will let them know, Mrs. S. Food sounds amazing. The food is to die for. I hope one day, I still have to make the video with my dad, of course, making an Ecuadorian dish. But one day, maybe we can just, like, on a live stream, I can show you some of the foods here. That would be cool. With the right spices, I can cook curry. Do you guys eat curry? I have not eaten curry, unfortunately. I have heard of it, but have not eaten it. GMAs, you are on Eastern Time DLS. It's weird because here, they just call it Ecuadorian time. I've even investigated it, and it shows up as Ecuadorian time. But I can tell you the exact hour it is right now. It is 5:40 in my time here in Ecuador. So, you know, I don't know if that helps. Let's see here. Crook's Hideaway. We are back in Manta at the end of October. Excellent. By October, I should be healed and I should be good for bowling. So we can get together, we can organize with, we can make an event, like organize an event with subscribers. A community post where I say, or I make it's just that if I make a video, it's not gonna be a video that everyone's gonna watch. It's a weird thing with YouTube. You can't make videos specifically on that. But I can make a community post where I say, meetup, Ecuador meetup, October, maybe November, beginning of November. And everyone who is available will tell you where we're gonna be at. Probably meet up at the mall, so that way it's like a big place and you can find us easy. Not like very like hard to find place. And we can all get together and go straight to the bowling alley. I think that would be cool. I have to organize that. Let's see here. If given the chance, meet Don Shader. I think of him as the gracious, sometimes grumpy gringo. He is amazing. Don is really, really cool. You're gonna love. If you have not met Don in person, you're gonna love meeting him. If you have not seen his videos, what are you waiting for? Go check his channel out and subscribe after this stream, of course. I knew I was forgetting something. I did not write a description for this post, for this live stream. That was bad on my part, but I didn't want to take up too much of my dad's time. Anana, we're getting your smoke from fires now. I did hear about the situation with the smoke from Canada, which is terrible. I hope everything is well over there. Inflation rate in the US is near 10% right now. Yes, Canada is expensive, just like everywhere. I read somewhere that Ecuador only has inflation rate of 2%, which is the lowest in all of America. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised. All of the Americas. I just know that we feel it a lot because our income isn't good. So inflation could be low, but if we're not earning a lot, it feels like a lot. That's what my dad was like saying earlier. We went from inflation to deflation to depression. It's not good. What was I going to say about that? Oh, I also saw an article earlier. I think I have it here because I was going to share it, but then I was like, not today. Ecuador right now ranks in the top 10 countries that are the worst places to work. It's weird. I think it's because of the strikes that we had in the process that this was being done, but it has to do with rights, and it's complicated. So I'll probably make a post about it so you can check it out. It's not expensive in Ecuador. I agree with that. It just feels expensive for people who work and live here and, well, have a job here that just doesn't pay well. Yes, show us some good eats. I have to do that. As soon as I can, one live stream, I'll come prepared. I'll bring some Ecuadorian dishes. I do want to make another video about that, like of more food in Ecuador, but I think that's a video for a later date. I still have to use this. My mom told me not to use this to drink. And I don't know, but it still looks nice. So it's a good decoration. For everyone who hasn't seen this, this was a gift from Lisa. Not Lisa Thais, who's a channel member. At least I don't think they're the same person. But Lisa. She has an exhibit in the museum over here in Puerto Viejo. I don't know if you've seen it in my videos, but I have gone around there before. But she gave me this, and it was a really nice gift. I appreciate this more than anything, like that she could have given me, like her time. Like I obviously appreciate her friendship more than anything, but this was a nice detail, like they say here, un buen detalle, and I really liked it. So I like having it here. I'm not sure where to put it though, because I don't know where I could display it. I need to like set something up so I can display stuff back there, but it's really nice. Daylight savings, 6:40. Okay, so you guys are an hour ahead. Let's see here. Crook's Hideaway. Food is cheap here in Spain. Almost as cheap. Some things cheaper. In fact, lots of things cheaper than Ecuador. Wow, really? I did not expect that. Mrs. S, people tonight is a powerful manifestation night. Portal open to manifest wealth, great health, soulmate, life partner. Write a list of what you would like, what sort of life you want to live. I want this house, my family, to not need to worry about economic debts, about debts in general. Like I can buy the things that I want some other time. Like if I want a lot of things. I want a chair because this one is uncomfortable. I want to reorganize my room a little bit to turn it into a recording studio so it can be my room and my recording station. I don't know. I do want things for myself. I do want one day to meet a girl who likes me for who I am, and who I like back as well, of course. But more than anything, I just want everyone here at home to be at peace, because that brings me peace. Like if everyone here is happy, like my dad is okay, my mom is okay, my brother is okay, then I'm okay. I feel like that brings me peace and calm. That's why I when I talk about these economic issues with Ecuador and like the house and like how like it's hard to make sales. Like my dad, like he goes out and he works and he just doesn't earn a lot. It's like if everything was good here stably, like I wouldn't even be like worried. I'd be like, okay, like boom. So yeah, that's what I want. If I had to express current desires, there's more things, of course, minor things, like things that I don't need. They're just things that I want. Like you guys see my hobbies corner. Like I wish that were full of anime figures, like everywhere, like just a whole corner that reached up to the ceiling with like figures from my favorite animes. Like that's what I want, but I don't need it. I just want it. It's like I'm sure everyone has something that they want. Like some people, maybe they want, I don't know, a really nice bed, maybe. I don't know. It's just like there's things that people want, you know? It's just, we all know that there are things that we need first. Let's see. Ecuador is the same as the Midwest in the US during the summer. In the winter, it matches East Coast, or is it mountain? I wouldn't be able to tell you, Mark. I just know that over here, like my dad said earlier, when it's cold here, it's hot in the highlands. When it's hot there, when it's hot here, it's cold over there. So, you know, weird things. Tomorrow, important as well. Videos online YouTube. How far is the mall away from you? Puerto Viejo doesn't exactly have a mall. We have something that's called El Shopping, which is like the mall, but it's just, you walk around like 10 minutes and you're done. It has 2 floors and it's pretty small. If I drive from here to the mall in Puerto Viejo, it takes like less than 10 minutes. Unless there's a lot of traffic, then it could take 10 minutes or more. In Manta, they have a big mall, which is Mall del Pacífico. That one is where we have to meet up if we have the meeting with Don. Let's see here. Crooks Hideaway, we met Don in January and he is great. Yes, he is. He is awesome. Canada inflation right most is about 4 to 5%. Okay. Mark Baran, okay, that's a question for Mark. Summer, winter in the US is what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. That's answering the questions from BPE. Beautiful pottery. Yes, this is really nice. It was made by someone in, if I remember correctly, Hippie Hapa. The name of the person is here, Javier, and when it was made. So it has these details and it looks nice. Actually, why haven't I showed you this like closer so that you can see it? Like, I feel silly not having done that, you know? Like, here's the figure in the middle. You can see it. It looks really nice, right? Looks really pretty. I kind of wish I could drink my lemon water from this right now. Like, it would be really cool. If low fire, probably lead in it. Lead melts at a low temperature, nuts, things like that, okay? Okay, so don't drink anything from it, probably. Okay, got it. Average home prices in the US are over 450. Ooh, no. Too expensive. I'm wondering, and this is a question from me to everyone who's living in the States and in Canada. If you're living over there right now, how do you buy a house? Like with the prices that I'm seeing, it just seems impossible. Like, how? Like if you wanted to buy a house, how would you do it? How would you go about it? Lisa is an artist, designer, potter. Lisa, she bought this for me. She didn't make it. The person who made it is Javier. But Lisa is an artist. Like, she's a photographer and an artist. And she has her exhibit in the Museum of Puerto Viejo. Wow, as high as 600K. It's crazy how expensive that is. Mrs. S, Ace, write as if it's already done. Okay, so in order to manifest it, I have to write it. So that way it becomes a reality. Let me see, Hopian. I was living in Hawaii and the average house price there is close. Oh my goodness. Which is one of the reasons why, I would have left too. 1 million. I feel like some of that could be allocated to just chill, like food or like having a better like life. Having to pay that for that. Wow, no. That is expensive. Ace, what if a woman you fall for is 10 years older than you? Well, then I fell for her. I mean, age isn't really the issue, as long as, you know, we're talking about you have to be legal, of course. But like, if someone is older, my age, younger, as long as as long as I feel something for them, obviously, then it's fine. That's not an issue, I think. I do have preferences though. And I am weird. At least I think I'm very strange. That's crazy, Mark. It is. I have to agree with that. House prices here are 600K, 1 million depending on the area. Average, I would say 850K. Daniel, it sounds like you live in a very expensive area. I saw some house prices in Cotocachi last week around $120 to $150, 150, 120, 150K. Maybe. Pretty cheap compared to the US. I think this was something I was thinking of for a video. I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler, kind of, but this is like future plan. I don't know when I would make this, but I was thinking that I think it would be ideal when you come to Ecuador if you come with the intention of making your own house, like having it constructed from scratch. Why? Because even the prettiest of houses, you don't know what's underneath. And you want to make sure that everything is in line with what you would want for it to last. Because sometimes things are done kind of like rushed jobs, and you don't want that. It's just my suggestion, of course. It's not, you have to have it like this. But if you have the money to be able to make your own house or have it constructed, I would go that route over buying one that's already made, if you have the money. If not, one that's already made is fine. Please write down financial freedom for you and your family. Okay, I'm gonna write it down right now. Actually, show freedom for me and my family. Happy face, because everything is better with a happy face. Okay, 120K through 150K, I mean. Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering, I wasn't sure. $120, it felt like a little. Let's see here. Let's see. I think California is pushing up near 1 million. California sounds crazy then. Your thoughts on Cotocachi? How was the weather? I'm laughing asking you that, but it's a serious question. Haven't been there. I don't want to give an opinion that would be wrong. I loved Cotocachi, a much smaller version of Cuenca. I need to visit. Agreed with Mark. You don't? I'm guessing that's referring to how do you afford a house. Okay, that's not good. 120K in Ecuador would get you a house over 2,000 square feet in most locations, and usually new construction. Probably. I'd say if you wanted to be safe, go a little bit higher, but you know, it's all up to you. Young people in Canada probably need help or an inheritance from their parents to buy a house. Probably. What I was thinking, and this was something that I thought about, I don't know who I talked to about it before, but basically, like a lot of people here, and I know in the States too, everyone's talking about how they're not going to be able to afford a house. Like in the later years, no one's going to be able to afford a house. It's just not possible. People with salaries here, not possible. In the States, even worse. So in my mind, what's going to happen is people are just going to end up inheriting houses. It seems like the only way that anyone is going to have a house. And it's unfortunate because it's not even your own house. You can't even say, I bought this house. It's inherited, which is, I mean, it's fine. It's not like, oh, I'm going to complain about inheriting a house. But I know there's people who would prefer to say, I got this house with my own effort. So it's unfortunate, to be honest. How do people afford it here, Ace? People take out 30 to 40 year mortgages. That's, oh, wow. Ugh. I think they do something similar over here as well. But even with a mortgage, they want you to have 20% down payment and good credit. Sounds like when you buy a car. That's what we want to do, build our own. Good. Anana. I keep forgetting it. It's not Anna, it's Anana. Definitely what you want is to have your own house. In my opinion, the one that you built to your specifications and making sure that everything is like to standard, a standard that you feel is adequate. Just to give you an example and part of what I want to talk about in the video, this house, my dad made sure he supervised the construction of this house years ago, before we were here. And that's the reason why it's okay and why it didn't come crumbling down during the earthquake. But if we go to the living room, which in fact, damn, I just realized I can't take you to the living room because I'd have to hop there. But if I were to take you to the living room, like you could see in the ceiling, like, I don't know if you can see that. Hold up, let me see if I can point at it from here, like that. Those are like cracks on the ceiling. And like, at least that's not like severe. In the living room, there's severe cracks. Not like, wow, construction level cracks. But there's cracks in the ceiling that make it look like you can see the construction work inside of it. It's not like overly insane, but it's dangerous. Like, it's to the point where I psychologically, when my parents showed me it, like, and I hadn't been paying attention to it, but when my parents made me pay attention to it, I was like, oh, we have that. And my dad was talking about, in order to get that fixed, he was saying it's gonna cost like somewhere around the realm of like $800 or something, because that's how much it cost the Plaza del Sol, which is next door to us, to fix their walls. And I can see from here it's not completely fixed yet, but the major cracks. So my dad said in order to do like a complete fix of the house and stuff like that, it's gonna cost like $1,500. Add to that whatever we have to pay because we still need to live, and it's just not feasible. The good thing is it's not an immediate emergency, but my dad is saying that there's a part of the house that there's like water leaking in. So it's just things, and I'm like, ugh, frustrated to know that these things exist. But anyways, I don't want to go too into like the stress of that, because it's a lot to think about. Eventually, I do hope to like help get that fixed. There's a lot of things I want to get done around the house in general, but it's a process. There's no need to rush it because, well, I mean, I don't know. I do worry that one day there's going to be like a quake. I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, but we have concerns, as would anyone, I think. Let's see here. A movie theater. Some big cities do have movie theaters. Not big ones, they have movie theaters, but it's something. Happy face. Please include peace and great health on that list. I will do that right now. Let's see here. Financial freedom for me and my family. Peace and great health for my family. I will also say family, peace, love, and success for my community. Yay. We have some new wishes here. And you guys are my community, so I really hope that, like I said, peace, love, and success for all of you. I hope that because I think it's more of a matter of when and not if, when you come to Ecuador, I really hope that you have like the best time. Like everything that you want is exactly as you want it. Like I'm not saying like people have to be the way you want them to be, but like when you come here, I hope it's like what you want, like for the rest of your life. If you're coming to live here forever. If you're just coming to visit, then I just hope you have a great visit. Let's see here. When leaving Ecuador, I spoke with a couple of people who had bought houses on or near the coast. Apparently the dirt foundations are or were not set properly. A lot of things, they're just done like, I like saying this as a joke. They're done booty. Like, they're done like just to get the job done, not because they want to do it well. And that's frustrating because the people who suffer from that are the people who live in these places. It reminds me of the earthquake. That's why a lot of houses came crumbling down, because they were not up to code. They were not like done well. Thanks, Mark, for housing info. Hope your ceiling doesn't fall on you. Thank you, Hoppy-in. Hopefully my house will not decide to go wonky. The one that I showed you is the most visible one because you can see smaller cracks, and that's just not good for when you want to sleep well. Quito has some nice movie theaters. We saw Indiana Jones last week. How was the Indiana Jones movie, by the way? I've heard mixed reviews on it. They have both subtitle and dub versions. Some movies have subtitle and dubs. I wanted to watch the Spider-Man movie, the Into the Multiverse, Across the Multiverse, and they only had the dub version in Spanish, and I was like, no! I like watching it in English, personally. Have to go water my hoop house. Good eve to all. BP, I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Evening, most likely, since it is probably evening time over there. Take good care of yourself, all right? Dovi, hello Dovi, buenas. If only flights to Cuenca made it easier to go back and forth to US hubs directly instead of through Guayaquil or Quito, I would go from Calgary to Miami direct, then direct to Cuenca or vice versa. I'm gonna assume that that's something that's gonna happen at some point. I can't say today, I can't say tomorrow, I can't say this year or even next, but I just know that things do keep evolving at a very slow pace, but they do evolve. Some people like the fact that life is a little bit slower here, but and the way that it evolves is slower. But there are some things I do wish came a little bit faster to make things convenient for people wanting to come, because I know a lot of people want to come and not have to go through the stress of airport travel. I've seen that some airports have you there for 8 hours, and that's not cool. Thanks, Mark Horning. I'm here because I love Ace. It's 1 a.m. here. Thank you very much, Mark Horning. And oh man, you need to get some sleep, Mark. Try not to stay up too late. Namaste. Blessing of abundance and success to you all. May that be the situation for everyone. Good vibes everywhere. Dovi, just imagine the chaos when they close that airport. So, oh God. Please no. So true, Dovi. Cuenca is hard to fly from the US. I got RT ticket from LA to Guayaquil for around 280, but it would cost 3 times that to go to. Ooh, that's not good. They're closing the Cuenca airport. If I remember correctly, I don't know if Mark Horning talked about it. The thing with the Cuenca airport, they're not closing it completely, I think, but I think they're remodeling it, or they're opening a new one. So basically, the one that's currently there might not be available. Let's see here. LATAM has new flights and hearing rave reviews through Monday, Friday. That's my understanding. Learn how to properly invest so you have passive income once you move to Ecuador. I need to learn how to invest. So if anyone wants to come teach me, I'm willing to learn. I've never understood the stock market, 401k, all those things. It all sounds like gibberish to me, and it sounds so complicated. I understand a lot of terminology from here, things that I've investigated, things that I've lived through, but there's a lot of things that I have not come to learn because I didn't get to go through them, because I wasn't in the States long enough. Speaking of earthquakes, there was a 4.0, 4.5 one today. How was that earthquake, Mark? Is everything okay over there? Mrs. S, thank you, brother Ace. Speak peace, love, and abundance. Mrs. S, always here. May everything always go well. Latam is great in Ecuador. At least I had a better experience with Latam than I did with Avianca. I wish I could get sponsored by Avianca or by Latam. No, not by Avianca. Avianca's flight, I missed that one flight, and that still frustrates me. I wish I would get sponsored by Latam or an air flight company. I'd be willing to promote one if they gave me the chance to test out their services. I recommend good macroeconomists like George Gammon. I feel like my brain would go fuzzy if I listened to someone that didn't guide me in person. Let's see here. Indiana Jones was fun. I go to movies with low expectations. Oh, okay, cool. When you go low expectations for a lot of things, it's like, you'll be fine. I go with high expectations to some things and then get disappointed. That's why nowadays I have lower expectations for a lot of things. So, you know, I have learned to temper that a little bit. I heard it wasn't good. Maybe your expectations were a little higher. Did you watch The Flash? I have not. I heard there's this controversy with the actor, the person who's playing The Flash. Dovey, GMAs, this is your dad? Wow, you look so different. He looks more Eastern Europe and you look Latino or Mediterranean. A lot of people say I don't look like my dad. I don't look like my brother. I don't even look like my mom, apparently. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm adopted? I'm kidding. I have no idea. I mean, I'm kidding but I don't know. But some people have trolled me like that before, said, oh, maybe you're adopted. I'm like, no. That's a typical joke when you don't look like your family. You're the adopted one here, and I'm like, eh. Mark Horning, Ace, you know, I'm an American with a passport. Too much time and barely enough money. Life doesn't get much better. I hope you have more, let me see here, more money, so that way you can take advantage of the time. Let's see here. Uh-oh, I'm flying Avianca to Cuenca. I think you'll be fine. Just don't be late. I had a situation with how was it? The check-in, and that's why I missed my flight. If the check-in would have gone well, and if it would have like showed me on the app that it went well, like I would have not missed my flight. But I guess missing my flight gave me the opportunity to make a really good Quito video. So there's that. Read The Wealthy Barber by Chilton. It will give you a great foundation to build wealth. Taking a picture of that. I like to read. I just don't have books, and I have not been able to buy books over here because Amazon was not a thing. Now Amazon apparently is a thing, so maybe I can order some books from Amazon. I think you look like your dad. It's the nose. Maybe. Everyone says my brother looks more like my dad. If I look like anyone, everyone says it's more like my mom. Mark Moran, my father worked for the airlines for 36 years. He trained me to show up obnoxiously early for my flights. Then your dad was very prepared, much more than I was, because I went and we made it late. Late because the check-in wasn't done. Because if the check-in wouldn't have been done, then it wouldn't have mattered if we arrived at the time that we did. Because we arrived well. It's just the check-in. Oh well, I got to eat some Cinnabons, so it's okay. I'm just kind of frustrated because my cousin, she paid for that flight. She gave it to me like a gift, but like it's still kind of like, I don't want her to waste money on me if she doesn't have to. She already was really kind to me when I was over there, so it just feels like too much. Mark Horning, Mark Moran, I've learned that the hard way, and there is always at least one bar open at every airport. I didn't notice. When I was at the airport, I didn't notice that there was a bar. I heard that the food at the airport was expensive, But I didn't even try to go up to the bars that were there because I was like, I don't have money for this. So I was like, nope. Although some of the things that I could see on like the signs kind of did tempt me. But I was just like, nope, just act like you don't see it and you'll be fine. If you don't pick up a copy of The Wealthy Barber, I will bring you a copy. I would appreciate that very much, Crooks. So definitely, if I can't get it, I'll definitely take you up on that offer. Mark Moran, okay, time for me to get my salchipapas on. Have a good noche, everyone. Ten una excelente noche. Have an excellent night. Mark, once again, thank you very much for the support and thank you for being here. Enjoy those salchipapas. Don't forget, mayonnaise and ketchup, or just mayonnaise. And if the mayonnaise comes with garlic, even better. Mrs. S, what's the nearest airport to me? The nearest airport to me is the one that's in Manta. Puerto Viejo used to have an airport, but it's gone. It's closed down, and now they're using it to make kind of like an intersection to reach one street to another, because normally you'd have to go all the way around to the bypass, but now there might be an actual like road that takes you to that connects these two streets. Drink some water. Today I have this. I don't have my ceremonial cup, but I have this gigantic bottle of Wheatig. But it doesn't have Wheatig in it. It has normal water. Wheatig is mineral water, by the way. And yes, I am weird. I waterfall my own water bottles all the time. I don't know why. I gotten used to it. I don't know if anyone has any questions or any comments. El tuyo sin gas. Mine is literally without gas too, because it's a reused bottle that I have. Because since I'm injured, I can't leave my room. So I've been filling up this water bottle. Like my mom fills it up for me. Thank you, Mom. And I just drink from this. Or sometimes I'll have another bottle as well, and I'll drink from both of them. But for now, I'm just drinking from this. Whenever I get thirsty, I have a whole bunch of water just in case. Because imagine having to hop to the kitchen all the time, come back, hop, come back to fill up water. I'd rather just have it here. Excellent, Mark. That is good. Repurpose. Cynthia, please thank your father for joining us. I enjoyed listening to him, and I understood about 30% of what he said, and he was kind enough to speak more slowly. My Spanish listening is getting better. Practice makes perfect. Práctica hace el maestro. Buenas noches, Mark Moran. Good evening. Have an excellent night. And Cynthia, definitely, the more you listen, the better you get. Trust me, the more you practice. Language learning in general is mainly practice. If you want to learn it well to the level where you can communicate fluently with people. I can tell you from experience, that's how I learned a language even better than I would have if I would have just been studying. Daniel, the healthcare video you did, was it mainly just about the ES? It was a combination about all healthcare because, for example, my current healthcare experience was at the Hospital de Especialidades, which, note, that hospital has only existed for about 2 years, let's say, 2 to 3 years max. Before that, there's only the general hospital, the ES hospital, clinics. So now we have Hospital de Especialidades, big hospital here in Puerto Viejo. So in previous years when I used medical services, I went to the ES. When I went with my friend, to visit to my friend who was working there, and my girlfriend's mom. Both of those times were with the ES. And the one time that I got injured when I first got here, like in the Federation, was at the Federation. I've gone to the Hospital de Verdi Ceballos, but just to like be there for someone else. I've never used it myself. But people complain about it all the time. And and recently, that was something else that I didn't mention that's probably for part 2, but a bit of a heads up. The nurse, one of my friend who was at the hospital, and the people who were there with him, they told me that this is the problem with the organization. The Verdi Ceballos hospital is like the general hospital. That's like level 1. You should go there first. But they send people to the Hospital de Especialidades. And he says that they do that because they're lazy, because they just don't want to do the work. So that is a problem. Keep in mind, just in case. I reuse bottles as well. Very good, Mrs. S. Got to take care of the environment and also just have a bottle just in case. Crook's Hideaway. Have you seen the Tim Kettle language translating earbuds? The reviews seem to bring very good. I've heard, there was once, but a few years ago, I heard about these earbuds that could translate. The reviews seem to be good from that person, but that's the thing. I just watched that video because it was like a very wow product. Novedoso, like you would say here. Novelty, I guess. But I haven't seen those translating earbuds. I would love to have them to see how they work and review them myself, since I live in a Spanish environment, but I don't even know where I would even get those. I have wanted to make videos reviewing things here, but I just don't know what I would review that might be of interest. Because I recently did the chocolate video, and that video didn't do well. I thought it would do better because it was chocolate, and a lot of people love chocolate, and everyone says Ecuador chocolate is the best. So I wanted to prove that. I don't know. It just didn't. Maybe it's because of the thumbnail. I'm not good at thumbnails. Let's see here. Daniel, does the free healthcare apply only to ES or both public and private hospitals? I think I've mentioned it before, but healthcare in Ecuador is free in general. Like, no place can turn you down for healthcare. How fast you'll be attended is going to depend on factors. Like I said in the healthcare, the medical video, if you have connections, you get attended really quickly. If you have insurance, you still get attended quicker than if you don't. If you don't have insurance and you don't have connections, be prepared to have a very long wait, because you just never know, you know? JR, hello JR, good evening, buenas. We're gonna be here for a little while longer because for now, we've already been here, I think about almost 2 hours. Yeah, so I think we're gonna end the stream very soon. I just wanna take in a few last questions, talk a little bit longer with everyone, because I have fun with everyone here. Crook's Hideaway, they have Ecuadorian Spanish translation. That's really cool. Specific Spanish is always good because I have noticed that there's different Spanish from different places. That's for sure. Mrs. S, please avoid drinking anything straight after finish eating foods. Protect heart. If you mean drinking water, I didn't know that was a problem. I'll keep that in mind. I don't drink, so I don't, after eating, like, I only drink water, so I don't know if that would be a problem. For everyone else, please make sure you take that into consideration. Be careful with the things that you drink. Mark Horning, my experience is Spain Spanish and Latin American Spanish are two different animals. I understood dad better than ever. In Spain, forget about it. Rápido and no claro. So many colloquialisms, I can imagine. Every country, and not just difference between Spain and Ecuador. Even in Ecuador itself, like, there's a lot of dialects. The coast, the highlands, Esmeraldas, if you go to different countries, Venezuela, Cuba, that one's difficult to understand sometimes. Dominican, I hear, is one of the most difficult to understand in terms of Spanish. So, you know, they have a thick accent from what I've seen, heard. Yes, I meant everything including water. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, I'm going to take it easy with what I drink after I eat. I'll probably just drink in the process, and then after I eat, I'll just take it easy for an hour, and then I'll drink something. Maybe I'll try to do it like that, if I can coordinate it well. So, is there anyone else that has any other questions or anything you would like to say for today? Questions, thoughts, comments, of course. Okay, if there are no questions or any comments, yes, I meant everything including water. Try drinking water before breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and keep some on side for whatever. Okay, before. So not during. Okay, interesting. Ah, Lisa, hello. It's me tuning in at the very last minute. Sorry about that. It's okay, Lisa. Everyone, I've come to the realization being here. It's just that in life, I stressed myself out a lot, thinking that like everyone would have the same commitment to things like as I would. And it would stress me out when I would like try to organize something with someone, and it just didn't go through. And it's like, but we organized, we coordinated, you know, a lot of things. So, but now I just understand everyone has things they have to do, so they're not always going to be able to join or do things as much as I would like. So you've got a life, I get it. I intend to watch your chocolate video. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I hope you do. You're gonna laugh. It's a good video. It's great. It's just, I don't think a lot of people are interested in it. Daniel, do certain regions in Ecuador mix Spanish with indigenous languages? Yes, I understood that it was Spanish. Quito. Quito mixes a lot of Quichua with their Spanish. So if you hear some weird words, then understand that it's probably Quichua being mixed into the Spanish. I know Quito does it, and I'm pretty sure other cities in the highlands do too. Here in the coast, it's less frequent, unless it's someone who came from Quito. Lisa, a topic I'd like to see addressed that I haven't seen anybody else do a deep dive on is exercise equipment that's in the public parks in Ecuador. I can record, I do plan on recording around the city of Puerto Viejo one of these days, maybe when I'm not injured. And I do want to record like a tour of the park so you can see the exercise equipment. But there is some equipment, I just don't think it's like really wow equipment. Like I've seen the equipment in the States, and by the beach, they actually have literal weight training equipment in the States. Over here, you don't see that. You'll see some pull-up bars maybe. The park, Rotonda Park, which is Puerto Viejo's biggest park, has some exercise machines, but most parks don't. They have basketball courts, volleyball nets, and things like that. But specific exercise equipment, not so much. I will try to touch up on that so you can see exactly what they have, but it's not as much as you would want or expect. I don't know, maybe if you expect more. I would want more personally. Daniel, great question. Yes, Mark, it was. But like I said, mainly Quito or Highlands. You hear a lot of the mix of Spanish with Quichua. JR, dumb question, is that a Spider-Man outfit? Yes, my friend, yes it is. That is a Spider-Man outfit. It is the actual Spider-Man outfit for Miles Morales from the PS4 and the PS5. I personally just like the black and red combo. That's why I didn't get the typical Spider-Man outfit, because everyone here, and also because everyone gets the typical outfit. I wanted to be the different Spider-Man. Heck, if I could have my own personalized outfit, I would. I mean, I probably could, but it would cost money, so not now. You know what I want? I want Wolverine outfit. I feel like I would make for a great Wolverine. Anana, Anana. Yes, I keep Anana. It's like I keep thinking Anna, and I keep thinking Anana. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm thinking banana, nana. I don't know. Love these lives. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank everyone for being here. Remember, you don't have to become a member. I do appreciate if you become a channel member. Remember, channel members, like you can see with Daniel, Lisa, and Mark, you get the logo of my channel next to your name. There's also a community tab that's exclusive to channel members, where I do more exclusive, like personal updates about my life and certain things that I'm doing or that have happened. So I recommend if you want to support me and get a benefit, you can become a member. If not, just you being here, leaving a comment, leaving a like, sharing the video with people who might also want to see, or sharing my content in general, all of that helps me out so much. So I appreciate that. Like I said, you don't have to be a member, but if you're here, I appreciate it. So thank you for being here. Let's see, what else did I want to say? Well, I did want to answer over here. So Manta Airport is how long in taxi from your area? From Puerto Viejo to Manta, it's like about an hour in a taxi. Maybe less, because taxi drivers drive pretty quickly. You can make it to Manta in around maybe like 40, 50 minutes. And then to get to the airport, add an extra like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So from where I'm at to get to the airport, you'd probably take about an hour. Give or take. It can be 50 minutes, like it can also be an hour and 30 minutes, depending on traffic. So yeah. I don't know if anyone else has any other questions, anything you'd like to say, anything you'd like to include to this conversation. No? Okay, so, before we go, I do want to answer Lisa's question, but this was a question that she made in the community tab, talking about the language levels. For most, I know for English and Spanish, I think it's almost the same, but there's this system that goes from A, which is the lowest, A1, which is the lowest level of Spanish or English, and the highest level for English or Spanish, I know for English for sure. For Spanish, I can't 100% confirm, but the highest level is a C2. If you have a C2 level, you're like a native. And not only are you a native, you understand certain grammatical components of a language. For Spanish, it's probably the same thing. A1 is low. You don't know a lot of Spanish. You don't know, if it's Spanish we're talking about, you have some basic vocabulary maybe. Gallina, chicken, pollo, hen. No, wait. Pollo, chicken, gallina, hen. I said that reverse. A2 is a little bit higher than that. You start to understand more of the language, and you might form some grammatical structures. At level B1, you can speak a little bit. Like you can have a small conversation with some grammatical errors and some vocabulary gaps. At B2, you start having more serious conversations. You can touch up on more topics and your vocabulary is expanded. C1 is entering native level. So you're probably a native, you understand the language, and your grammar is really, really good. Not because you necessarily understand it 100%, but because you know that a sentence has to be formed in X or Y way. And once you're a C2, like I said, you have mastery of the language. You're a native, your pronunciation is great, your vocabulary is expansive, it really is you have a lot of vocabulary, and your grammar is almost flawless. So that's the levels of English. The same thing, I think it's the same thing for Spanish, because the Swiss girls, they were learning Spanish and they said that they were at like a B1 level when they were leaving. So yeah, there are levels similarly to English, and those are the levels. JR, how's the housing market? Earlier they were talking about that in the chat. I think I saw that in Cotocachi around there, or there were certain levels of like around 140,000. In Puerto Viejo, I've seen houses for sale, like the whole house. I don't know if that included the land, like you get the land and the house and everything. Around 200,000. Of course, we're talking about city, where it tends to be marked up because there's businesses and certain things make it more expensive. But yeah, there's houses for sale, and they're definitely going to be cheaper than what I was hearing about the States. $1 million, my goodness. No. So, if there are no further questions, I think we'll end the stream there. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, to like the video, of course, to help me out. If you like this live stream as well, of course. More than anything, if you liked it. If you didn't like it, don't like it. That's okay. I understand. But like the live stream if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, if you had a good time here, if you got value. Consider becoming a member because that helps me out. And you also get access to the community tab that is, gives personal updates, quicker response to comments. I can't be the quickest because when I reply to a comment, I reply to a comment. So if you want to become a member, please. If you want to support me on the channel, buy me a coffee. I appreciate the donations, of course. It's not obligatory, but I appreciate it. The comments, the likes, everything helps me out enough. So I appreciate that. Share it with friends and family. Which airport was being adjusted? Cuenca's airport. I think it's being closed and either fixed or relocated. I just hope it's not completely being closed because I could have sworn that Louis told me it's just being remodeled. So not sure. But I know it's in Cuenca. And of course, if you ever need help, send me an email at gmacemb@gmail.com. I should probably write that down again. gmace. I might not reply immediately, but I always reply within 2 to 3 days. mb@gmail.com. What else did I want to say? So if you ever need help, please let me know. I'll try to reply as quickly as possible. Please take care of yourselves. Please have a great time. Crooks Hideaway, gracias. De nada. Thank you so much for answering my questions, Ace. Lisa, don't mention it. I always try to do my best to help you out. Try to help everyone here. JR, keep it up, Ace. I appreciate it, JR. I'm going to keep going. Expect more content coming soon. Mantis has been expanded. Cuenca is being remodeled. Yes, but I read it's being closed. Yes. Gracias. De nada. Remember, de nada is you're welcome. De nada. So, de nada, you're welcome. Everyone take care. Have an excellent rest of your day, night. For Mark Horning, very early in the morning. Please make sure to get some rest. I appreciate you being here, but rest. You need it because you got a lot to do over there still. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care. And as always, Ace out. Listen to Lisa. It is.